right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another trading room on a Thursday afternoon, 2 minutes after 2. I thank you guys for joining us one more time. If you're joining us for the first time, please do subscribe to the channel. We do have these trading rooms running every Tuesdays and Thursdays. All right, every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. We do have a Friday crypto decrypted trading room that's strictly centered or is centered around crypto. All right, so be on the lookout for that. It is on Friday, actually on Friday at 2 p.m. All right, so welcome to another one. I'm looking at the chat right now. Jules, as always. Suleiman, as always. John, Howden, Siyabonga, as always. Good afternoon, guys. Thank you for joining us. All right, we're gonna have a look at the charts. A lot has been happening this week. All right, this week was heavily driven. It was driven by fundamentals. It was driven by specifically geopolitical news. All right, the Middle East are taking over the markets, or has taken over the markets this week. All right, so we're gonna talk a little bit more about that. We did actually speak about it on Tuesday, but we are gonna just have a look at what's been happening since the past day or so. All right, and before we get started, guys, remember, if you want to sign up for an account, sign up and start your journey today by going to tdmarkets.com, opening an account with us. We've got a lot of account types for you to take advantage of. So that is tdmarkets.com. Under account types, have a look at the accounts that we have. All right, and for further assistance, you can send us an email to care@tdmarkets.com. The contact details are on the chat. All right, I'm having difficulty in finding my account. All right, so Siyabonga, just get in touch with us at care@tdmarkets.com, or you can give us a ring. Right, give us a ring, give us a call on the number provided above, right, on the chat, just on the chat. All right, we will get it sorted. Don't worry. All right, and we also have some education. We also have the TD Markets education. All you need is an account. All right, that's all you need, an account, and we will then chat on the TD Markets Academy. We do provide trading education support. So if you want to learn how to trade, learn how to develop an edge, learn how to master your setups, and just learn how to develop into a trader, we do have the TD Markets Academy. The link is right there. So all you need is an account, and get it verified, get it funded, and myself and my brother Ash, we will get in touch with you. We will chat to you on the sessions. All right, and yeah, so that's basically it, guys. Right, we currently have about 17 viewers. So we're just going to wait for the slow pokes to jump in. And in about a minute or so, we will get started. All right. All right. Okay. Great stuff. Hey, good afternoon, all the way from Welkom. Dada, good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us all the way from Welkom. How's the weather down there in Welkom? Right, where we are right now, it's raining. It's been raining the whole day in Joburg. If you're in Joburg right now, I'm looking out the window right now. It's really raining. All right, I think winter has started. All right, so I hope the weather there in Cape Town is a little bit different and warm than it is here in Joburg. All right. Okay, so I can see there are some pairs coming in. Right, so if you guys want us to analyze whatever it is that you want us to analyze, please type it on the chat. Right, we've got US oil. We're gonna have a look at gold, Euro USD, Euro NZD, Nasdaq. All right, we're gonna have a look at those pairs. Right, if there's anything else that you guys want us to analyze, pop it on the chat. It's raining too. Yeah, man. I think. Look, it's that time. You know. It's that time. I think winter is upon us. It's upon us. All right. And also, guys, let's have a look at the calendar quickly, right? So tomorrow we've got NFP. We've got NFP tomorrow. We had the ADP report yesterday. Tomorrow we've got the payrolls data. So traders are keeping a very close eye on the payrolls data, all right, on the jobs data, which is the NFP, growth earnings, unemployment rate. We also have retail sales in the mix. This time around, we have the retail sales in the mix. So we'll see what's going to happen. Retail sales might come out bad. The payrolls report might come out good. It might be a mixture. But looking at the ADP, right? Looking at the ADP, it came out better than expected. So obviously the previous NFP was a little bit down. So it's going to be interesting. Looking at the private sector, it came out better than expected. So let's look at the public sector, the NFP, how it's going to come out as, right? Unemployment rate expected to remain the same at 4.3%. Average hourly, growth earnings, it's expected to drop just slightly. So we'll see. Right? It's going to be very interesting. On that note, let's have a look at the charts. Let me just make sure all is set on my end. There we go. All right. So we have gold, all right? We've got gold. Nothing has changed on gold. I spoke about gold this morning. Nothing has changed. We are still bullish, all right? What happened, earlier this week is that we had a very aggressive push towards the downside. On Tuesday's opening bell, trading room, I told you guys that, look, we are simply waiting for a higher low to form. Wherever the higher low is going to form, we're waiting for that, right? We had the previous higher low. We've got the previous higher low here. And then after that, the market is just really towards the upside. So we see this as nothing but a correction, guys, right? We see this, our view is this is just a correction. And from there, we are looking for prices to go up, right? The Middle East conflict has dominated the market this week, all right? We saw some weak gold flows. We saw an aggressive dollar, and obviously we saw volatility in the market. So the dollar index outweighed the safe haven, right, which is gold and silver, and we saw a strong US oil. So we're sticking to the same script, all right? I think today is day 6 of the conflict. I'm not sure. Day 6 of the conflict. So we're keeping an eye on what's going to happen. I mean, Iran is responding via the attacks. The US is not going to back down, but there are rumors that they are going to schedule some talks. All right, there are rumors. I'm not sure how true this is, but there are rumors that Iran has agreed to some talks. I don't think that's true, but we'll have to wait and see, right? But looking at the response from Iran, I think they're also not backing down. All right, and as a result, the markets are just reacting. All right. So gold, we're still looking for a bullish gold. We have some consolidation here. We've got some consolidation, some correction here. All right. So we're anticipating momentum to continue pushing towards the upside. We're looking for a break, and we're looking for momentum to continue pushing towards that. In fact, this is a correction. It's nothing but a correction. All right, so gold is, it's in line with the analysis. Let's see what's going to happen. We've got the NFP tomorrow, of course. There's going to be some volatility. NFP might just do this. It might just spike down one more time, all right? But according to the structure, we're still going to look for this. So NFP might just do that. All right, so that is gold. And then we've got Euro USD. The dollar is still bearish. All right, sorry, not bearish. The dollar is still strong, it's still bullish. And looking at not NFP, but Euro USD, nothing has changed on Euro USD. It has come back down very strong. It's trading below the zone, the structure, and there was a correction that formed. Right, there was a correction here that formed. There we go. So price fell after the correction. Right, it's still falling. There's a bit of a retest there. But looking at the structure, right, we are still trading within a bearish structure. So we're anticipating some more bearish momentum, right? We're keeping an eye on that. We're anticipating more bearish momentum. So this correction here, it could continue doing this before it drops, right? It could go up one more time. It could do this one more time before it does this. It's all a matter of waiting for your setups, right? Waiting for your setups. But according to what we see, one more drop is what we're anticipating. One more drop is what we're anticipating, right? To go back to this low. To go back to this low first. And then we'll see what's going to happen after that. All right. Remember, guys, the information shared in this video is not advice. Please take note of this. The information shared in this video is not advice. It is just simply our point of view. Please don't take it as advice. All right. So that is how Euro USD is looking, right? Still the same. Nothing has changed. Remember, we might get one more push up before we go down. All right. And then we've got, let me just remove this. And then we've got, let me see, Euro NZD. I believe that is still bearish. I believe Euro NZD is still bearish. Yeah, it's still bearish, right? I'm not sure if I spoke about this on Tuesday, but I think I did. On Tuesday, we're anticipating one more push before this towards the downside. But you can see this thing is just stuck in a range, right? We're anticipating one more push down still, right? We're expecting one more push down. Looking at the structure here, we're anticipating one more push down. So this thing is still stuck in a correction, right? And according to the correction, we were anticipating the market to complete the correction and then one more push down. But it seems like that's not going to happen. It might still happen. It might still happen, but yeah, it's just stuck in this. So the move towards the downside might form from this high, right? Or the market might just drop, right? We might get one more push up before we go down, or it could just drop here. This thing is still very much bearish. All right. So yeah, so Euro NZD is still stuck in a correction. We're looking for a continuation towards the downside. Yeah, Nasdaq is volatile. Nasdaq is just extremely volatile, right? It's just extremely volatile. So we did not drop. The market didn't continue dropping, right? It's just stuck in this. Just stuck in this. So we haven't had proper movements. So what I would do here, I would still stick to the overall trend, right? I will stick to the overall trend. Whatever happens with the current price action, I would anticipate price to go up, right? So there's a possibility the market might start going up from these lows again, right? Anticipating that we've got a support, we're gonna go up. But at the same time, the market might just go up from where it is, right? So it's stuck in this consolidation at the moment. So possibilities here are that we could first come back down one more time before we go up, or we could go up from there. So I would basically stick to this trend, right? I would basically stick to this trend and look for my buy opportunities. You see that? Just look for my buy opportunities. So yeah, so that is how Nasdaq is looking. GBP JPY hasn't really broken, right? It hasn't really broken. It's also stuck in this, right? It's just slowly pushing down. If you remove these lines, let me just remove these lines. Now, looking at what's happening here, right? Looking at how price is creating this, it seems like price is preparing for one more push up here, right? We had this push towards the upside. Now, price is correcting. So we could get a break towards the upside instead. So I would lean towards that, a break towards the upside. We still have this contracting structure here. So yeah, so nothing has happened. We're still waiting. If it breaks towards the upside, then definitely we're gonna go with this direction. If it breaks towards the downside, I mean, there is still gonna be opportunity towards the downside, right? It's just squeezing at the moment. So yeah, so let's see what's gonna happen. So that is GBP JPY, hasn't changed. We also looked at NASDAQ. There could be a bit of a change on NASDAQ here, right? It's extremely volatile. We also looked at Euro NZD, Euro USD, as well as gold. So there you have it. US oil, look, we are still bullish on that one. US oil, we are still bullish, right? We are still bullish. Look at where it is right now. We spoke about US oil going back to around $77, $76, $77 per barrel. And remember, guys, right, there is a lot of demand on oil, on the oil market. The oil market is reacting very positively, right, or bullish. And this because of the blockage of the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz is the passage that's used to supply oil. So there's a blockage and there is disruptions in terms of the supply of oil. So as a result, oil prices has jumped towards the upside, right, because of that. And there hasn't been any change at the moment, although the latest update is that the US is thinking of or planning to escort the ships that are passing through the Strait of Hormuz, right, to supply oil. So the US is planning on escorting those ships so that they pass, because Iran, the attacks have caused the blockage, right? So yeah, so let's see what's going to happen. Let's see if the US will provide that support and escort the ships to supply oil. But at the moment, everything has been blocked. There's no traffic that's flowing there, and oil prices have jumped towards the upside, right? Energy prices have reacted, and as such, the euro, I spoke about the euro weakness on Tuesday. The European markets are suffering, right? For lack of a better word, the European markets are bearish because Europe is heavily reliant on energy. All right. So right now there's a disruption in oil supply, energy, and so forth and so on. So the European markets are just bearish at the moment. So US oil, we're still bullish. So the next target we have there is around $83 per barrel, right? That's what we're anticipating. Now, just be aware of this gap, right? Usually the market closes the gap. It doesn't happen 100% of the time, but generally when there's a gap, the market tends to close that gap. So you see here, the market might attempt to close the gap. It might, or it might not. So just be on the lookout for that. But we remain bullish, and we are approaching that $83 per barrel. All right. So yeah, the oil markets will definitely give good returns during this time. All right. So we're not changing anything there. If you go to a more lower time frame, I mean, the market is still correcting, right? So we could get one more push down before this. The market is still correcting. So just look for your setups there. But we remain bullish. All right. So that is basically how oil is reacting. GBP JPY, I think we went over GBP JPY. Let me see. Yeah, I think we spoke about GBP. Yeah, we spoke about GBP JPY. Within this bullish structure, we have some sort of a contracting flat pattern that's forming. All right. So generally, how we would approach this is we're looking for a break, right? We would look for a break before we engage, whether we're going to get a break towards the downside or towards the upside, because we could get either or, right? So we would look for the break and then start to look for our trading opportunities. Taking a trade while the structure is still developing like this, while the pattern is still developing like this, you put yourself at the disadvantage because anything can happen, right? The market might bounce to the top, go down, bounce to the bottom, go up, and so forth and so on, up until we get that break. So GBP JPY, yeah, these are the two possibilities. Here. All right. So yeah, so that is how GBP JPY is looking. And then we've got the DXY. Let me open up the dollar index chart. Let me do this. Let's open up the dollar index chart. All right. There we go. Okay. So the DXY is trading at very critical levels. All right. Let me just do this. Let me just bring it on. There we go. Aha. Okay. So this is where the DXY is trading at the moment, right? At very critical areas. It has hit the 99, anticipating it to go to at least 100, but this is where it is at the moment. All right. Now, obviously, the dollar is strong because of the war. It is strong, right? So because of the conflict, we will go with a stronger dollar, meaning anticipating DXY to still go up. So we're anticipating DXY to break towards the upside, all right? But now, let's say there's no conflict, right? Let's think of a scenario where there's no conflict. So you see now where it is, right? Apart from any fundamentals, you see where it is. These would be the possibilities. This is a possibility and this is a possibility. Because of where it is right now, it is on the resistance, right? So price might break the resistance or it might respect the resistance. I think it would be, worth waiting for a confirmation first, right? Maybe wait for the confirmation first and take it from there. But let's see what's going to happen. But according to what the dollar is doing right now, it is still strong, right? So we'd anticipate the DXY to push towards the upside. And that's going to filter through the other dollar pairs. Like Euro USD would then go down, GBP USD would go down, USD JPY would go up. You see that? Yeah. So let's see. Any correction here, a break, one more push towards the upside. One more push towards so that's how the DXY is looking. That's how the DXY is looking. Let me do this. Yeah, that's how the DXY is looking. Let me just remove these. Yeah, so we've got a very strong support down here. The worst case scenario, guys, right? The worst case scenario is is price coming back down to the zone. That is the worst case scenario. So the DXY dropping back down to the zone because there's a demand zone there. So on the demand zone, we could actually get something like this. There's a demand, right? But at the same time, it could just break and go up. So that is the worst case scenario. So let's see what's going to happen. This is how it's looking. More upside is expected on the DXY. There we go. Great stuff. Guys, any more charts you want us to go over? Let's see. I think we're sticking to the same script, guys, right? Nothing has changed. Remember, we spoke about how the CAD and the US are both strong at the same time. The Canadian dollar and the US dollar is strong at the same time, right? So you wouldn't want to trade USD CAD. Because look what's been happening for the past couple of days, right? It is still stuck in this range. That is because the CAD and the dollar are strong at the same time. You would at least want to look at Euro CAD. Why Euro CAD? Because the euro is weak due to the energy supply concerns or risks. The euro is weak, but the CAD is strong. So you would want to look at Euro CAD. All right, take advantage of that. The pound CAD as well. You would want to look at the pound CAD. So going over the technicals of the pound CAD, this is the pound CAD chart, right? So with this here, we can all see that from the weekly, the daily, the market has been trading within this for a year now, right? Since last year, February last year. So it's been a year, right? Obviously, on the lower time frames, there's been trends. But if you just zoom out of the market, you will notice that we're still stuck within this range. So I would anticipate pound CAD to go back down to this low. Maybe give us a retest and continue going down to this low, because the current trend is this one. You see that? This is the current trend right here. Just like this, right? So whatever happens, I would anticipate, or I would look for a correction and a continuation towards the downside. So for me, Pound CAD is the one with trading all the way down here. Then we'll see what's going to happen there. And if you look at Euro CAD, I mean, we can see what's happening here, right? Look at this week's candle. The market fell. There was a gap and the market fell over 1.3%, right? So now, where could this possibly go, right? There are a few areas where this could go, but the first area for me would be this structure. This is where EuroCAD is going, back to the structure, right? And obviously, if the war escalates, if the tension, if it still persists, then we're going to look for more downside, possibly heading back down to these regions, right? These regions there. That could be another area for take profit, these regions there. So I think EuroCAD, Pound CAD is like a good opportunity. Now, what about the CAD-based currencies? You look at the CAD-based currencies, you look at CAD JPY, right? Nothing has changed on CAD JPY. We still remain bullish. Where is it? Let me look for my CAD JPY. Okay, it's fine. Let me open up a new CAD JPY. So CAD JPY is going back to that high. The high we spoke about. Let me show you. Right. So I'm on the weekly time frame. Right. Look at this. My word. My goodness. It's going back to that high. Look at the current momentum. The current momentum. Right. This move, guys, this whole trend here is not done. It's not done. We have a continuation here, right? We've got a cycle, a bullish cycle. So this current wave towards the upside is not done. So where is this going? It's going back to that high. I'm not going to get into great detail why I'm saying this, right? But if you guys want to learn more, we've got the TD Markets Academy. Hey, jump onto the sessions, guys. Jump onto the sessions and we'll definitely show you how this is done, all right? Jump onto the sessions. Going back, as long as we are trading above the zone, right? As long as we are trading above the zone, above this structure, and we're going to break the structure, but let me not mention that one. As long as we're trading above the structure, this whole trend here needs one more push up. You see, this whole trend here, it needs one more push up. It needs one more just to complete this. This is an impulse, by the way, right? It's an impulse wave. So this impulsive trend needs one more push up. And that is what the market is doing at the moment. So I would still focus on CAD JPY for some upside. For some upside, right? I would simply look at the 1 hour chart. There we go. I would simply look at the 1 hour chart and follow this trend. Keeping it very simple. You see, guys, right? Let me just pause here a little bit. And this will go to mostly the beginners, right? I'm well aware that there are people who are trading, who've got experience, who are watching this right now, who got experience and are profitable, and that's good. But traders, let me give you just a tip, right? Just a tip. What you need to understand is, as a trader, right, you learn the skill. You first learn the skill of trading. And for some people, it might take a bit of time, right? You first learn the skill of trading. If it takes you guys a year to do that, trust me, that year is going to be worth it. Now, after the skill, and this skill, there's a lot of layers to this, guys, all right? There's a lot of layers to this. You learn the skill, you master your approach, you refine your setups, your strategies, whatever the case is. And your job now is to apply the skill onto the markets. That's it. That's your job. So don't be concerned on how the market should move. Don't be too concerned on how the market should move. No, that's not what we do. We always focus on our skill. We always refine. We always look to improve our setups. And then from there, we then apply that to the market. So the markets can move anyhow it wants to move. It can move. Sometimes it can be ugly. Sometimes the market can be ugly. Sometimes the market can trend properly. And looking at this trend right now, this is what you want. This is how you want the markets to move. This This is how you want the market. Look at how simple this trend is. Very simple. This trend is moving in impulse correction. Impulse correction. And the correction is creating patterns. This is the first pattern of the correction, right? It's a simple continuation pattern. And then from there, you have other continuation patterns like this. That's a continuation pattern here. What happened after that? The market went up. And look at how this thing repeats itself. It repeats itself. Done. And recently, this week, you had this one. Simple, simple, simple stuff, right? And now the skill that you're going to learn will also include how to deal with such situations. When the market does this, after an aggressive move up, how do you deal with that? That is simply a continuation pattern, right? Meaning we're anticipating price to go up, That is just the basics. I'm talking about the basics here. But my point is, you look at the CAD JPY chart, you must be very happy with this chart because it's not too complex, right? It's not complicated. All you gotta do is to follow this trend. Whatever, just follow this trend up until we get to the top. You see also, this entire trend here, it's a very simple trend. You would want things like this. But now the moment the markets, with enough skill, you will be able to navigate around it. The moment the market gets like this, right? This is where you have to be very careful as a beginner trader. It depends on the time frames you trade, right? But this thing can appear on all the time frames. So the market was consolidating. After what? After this clear, simple trend. This is what you want, right? And then after that, look what the market did. It went into a clear trend. You are looking for these clear trends. And trust me, your trading is going to be very simple. So now, I'm excited looking at CAD JPY. I've been excited from these lows, right? We did analysis on the previous trading room sessions where we focused on a bullish CAD yen, right? Some of you guys might remember. So we've been bullish on CAD yen, and then our analysis was that we're anticipating CAD yen to reach that area. And if it breaks this area towards the upside, then we're anticipating it to go to that area. There. That's it. And the market has just been moving. And this is just a simple trend. So I'm excited when I look at CAD JPY because I know there's going to be good returns on this. All right. So yeah, so CAD JPY, guys. CAD JPY, we remain bullish on this one. There's no two ways about it. We remain extremely bullish on this one. Is it making sense, guys? Just maybe put a fire emoji on the chat if you had a aha moment, right? If you just had an aha moment, just put a fire emoji on the chat. I think there might be a delay here. Let me see. I think there could be a delay. If it doesn't make sense, let's talk on the academy, right? If it doesn't make sense, let's have a chat in the academy. If it doesn't make sense. All right. Let's go through other. So EuroCAD, obviously more downside. We're anticipating more downside. Pound CAD, we're anticipating more downside. Let's see AUD CAD, NZD CAD, what's happening there. Let me first look at NZD CAD. Okay, AUD CAD, right? AUD CAD. This is how you see how AUD CAD might look like it's ranging, right? But in actual fact, it's not really ranging, right? Because what's happening here is the market respected the structure, all right? So it tried to go up. We can see with this reversal candle, with this, you can call it a gravestone doji, you can call it a shooting star. The market then respected and went all the way down, right? So right now, the market broke out of this structure. It initially broke out of the structure right there. I'm on the 8-hour daily time frame, right? So now we have another lower high here. So if I was looking for a trade, I would stick to a sell. I would anticipate price is going to go down because we've got a lower high. If you take your Fibonacci, right, you draw your Fibonacci on this impulse, you would notice that, look, the market bounced from 61.8. It also bounced from this area there, right? It bounced from this area there. So definitely, as long as the market does not break above this zone, this thing is bearish. This thing is bearish. You see how it is? It's all about following the recent or the most current trend that you can find. So this is where we are right now. So anticipating AUD CAD to continue dropping, going down. NZD CAD, it's a little bit two-sided, but I'm gonna keep it very simple, right? I'm gonna keep it very simple. So let me clear this chart. Let me actually do this, right? So obviously we are seeing a strong push towards the downside, all right? Now there's a couple of things that we anticipate to happen. Let me see if the weekly chart, okay. So we have this area of demand here. This is on the daily time frame on NZD CAD, right? I'm going to keep it very simple. Obviously, the market was pushing up. The market broke the structure. It broke the structure, created new structure, which is this one here. And then before all of that happened, it created the structure at the bottom there. So we have these structures, right? So at the moment, we still have this high, this higher high that formed. And according to structure, there's a higher probability that we're going to see price going back to the structure, according to this structure, right? So now what could happen before that is this demand zone we see here. If you notice, you see your supply, your support and resistance, your supply and demand zones. If you really pay close attention to those zones and understand how markets tend to react, you will notice that the market is attracted to these, or these zones attract the market, right? Whenever there's a supply zone, whenever there's a demand zone, I mean, today's terms, right? Today's terminology, you will hear traders saying order blocks, right? They speak about order blocks and all of that. Order block is just a new term for supply and demand, all right? So I can say it's an order block or a demand zone. To me, it doesn't matter. So we've got this area of demand zone here. So you will notice that the market tends to go back to those zones. Just like support and resistance, whenever there's a support, at some point, the market will go back to that support or resistance. It doesn't happen 100% of the time, but it happens the majority of the time. Just like supply and demand, it happens the majority of the time, all right? So looking at NZD CAD at the moment, I would not be a buyer right now. I wouldn't be a buyer. I would stick to selling this trend. So this would be the trend I would focus on, right? This trend. This would be the trend I would focus on, all right? And all I'm looking for is bearish setups. So we're anticipating NZD CAD to go down to this demand zone. And then we'll talk once the market is there. We'll talk once the market is there. But as it is at the moment, a continuation back to the demand zone, right? So this is a little bit of a demand and supply 101, sorry, demand and supply 101, right? So yeah, so I would keep it very simple. You will notice on gold, right? If you go back to gold, you see what I'm saying right now, you will notice it happened on gold before gold went up here, right? I told you guys that there is a supply zone here. There's an area of supply here, and gold is going back to the supply zone. That was when gold was going up. And from the supply zone, we spoke about two possibilities, all right? So it went up, bah, the supply zone, boom. And obviously we're seeing a bit of a push towards the downside. So this would be an example of a supply, all right? US 30, let's have a look at US 30. US 30, yeah, you see on US 30 now, right? On US 30, we also have a demand zone here on US 30, a demand zone. So we know that this demand and supply zone attracts price, right? But remember, it doesn't happen 100% of the time, but it happens the majority of the time. So with US 30, long term, we are still bullish on US 30, right? We're just waiting for a higher low to form, and then we're going to resume this towards the upside. That's what we're waiting for. But this higher low, it could form on the demand zone. We could see price going up from the demand zone, going up like this. So which means there's a possibility we're going to come back down to the demand zone before we go up. So what I would do here, if I was looking to sell US 30, this would be the trend I would keep a very close eye on. You see that? So these corrections that form here, right? I would apply my setups and look for my setups and look for selling opportunities. So short term, yeah, we could go and test this resistance short term. So what I'm trying to say is, for as long as this trend doesn't change, for as long as the market doesn't change this trend, all right, we are going to remain bearish. We're going to remain short-term bearish up until it breaks. You see how it is? So personally, I'm still bullish on this one. I'm just waiting for this correction to complete and get a push towards the upside. So I'm keeping an eye on this demand zone to see if we're going to start going up from this demand zone. If that is the case, then you can imagine the risk and reward from this. The risk and reward. I mean, your risk would basically be like this, and your reward there. You can imagine this, right? So yeah, so that's basically US 30. I went into a little bit of a little deeper with this one, but let's see what's gonna happen. So US 30, there you have it, guys. All right. So we're waiting for NFP tomorrow. A lot of markets have gone into a correction. The dollar markets have gone into a correction. You look at Euro USD, it has gone into a correction. And you look at all the other ones, they've gone into corrections, right? Even though the tension in the Middle East dominated the markets this week, tomorrow's NFP is going to add more momentum, right? So if Euro USD takes the whole day to do this, don't worry, it is waiting for the retail sales figures, it is waiting for the payrolls data, right? And I think from there, that's when we're gonna get some momentum. So let me see next week what's happening next week. CPI, we've got CPI even next week. Look at that, we've got CPI next week. We've got PCE as well, but I think after NFP, the markets will be keeping an eye on these PCE and CPI. All right. So do keep a very close eye on that. And yeah, these are your setups. Right? Continue analyzing trading. I mean, we do have the TD Markets Academy. We do have some accounts for you, tdmarkets.com. So click on the link that is posted on the chat and let's talk more on the TD Markets Academy, right? You can follow us on all social media platforms as well. I think the link should appear on the chat, the link tree, to just follow us on all social media platforms, all right? And yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, that is your trading room for this week, for Thursday. All right. Let's keep an eye out for the NFP, and we'll talk more. We're gonna go live on the NFP, right, at 3 p.m. We are gonna go live at 3 p.m. for the NFP, so we're hoping to see you guys there as well. All right, and yeah, that's it from my side, guys. That's it from my side. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow. All right, have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Subscribe, like, share, comment down below, and we'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Cheers.